Scene 1. A lazy man's plan. In a small village in India, there lived a man named Hari-Sarman. He had a wife, Vidya, and many children. But instead of working hard to provide for his family, he was lazy. Vidya was just as lazy as he was. They never taught their children to work and often relied on the kindness of their poor neighbors. But kindness could only go so far. Some days, there was no food at all. Hari-Sarman would send his children out to beg or steal. Meanwhile, he and Vidya sat at home, doing nothing. One day, Hari-Sarman had an idea. He turned to Vidya and said, "Let's leave this village. There's nothing for us here. If we go to a big city, we can find an easier life. I'll pretend to be a wise man, someone who can see hidden secrets. And you can say you know all about raising children since you have so many of them." Vidya grinned. "That's a great plan," she said. So, without hesitation, they packed up their few belongings, gathered their children, and left the village behind. Scene 2. The Grand House. After a long journey, the family reached a rich and bustling city. Hari-Sarman wasted no time. He went straight to the biggest house in town, the home of a wealthy merchant. He walked up to the grand entrance and told the guards, "I have come to see your master. I bring great wisdom and hidden knowledge." Curious, the guards let him in. The merchant, a kind but not too clever man, listened as Hari-Sarman spoke. "I can see what others cannot," Hari-Sarman said confidently. "I know secrets, hidden things, even lost treasures." The merchant was impressed. "I may have work for you," he said. "Your wife can help in the kitchen, and your children will be useful on my farm." Hari-Sarman couldn't believe his luck. He rushed outside to tell Vidya. Soon the whole family was given food, shelter, and work. For Vidya, life had never been better. She was well-fed, busy, and respected in the household. But Hari-Sarman, he had no special job. And soon, he felt ignored and useless. Scene 3. A clever trick. As days passed, Hari-Sarman became bitter. "I thought I'd be treated like a great man," he grumbled. "Instead, I'm just another servant, forgotten." Then he got an idea. He would steal something important, hide it, and then magically reveal where it was. The merchant would finally recognize his powers. Late that night, Hari-Sarman crept into the stables. He led away the beautiful white Arab mare, the merchant's daughter's favorite horse. He took it deep into the dark forest and tied it to a tree. Then he slipped back into bed, smiling to himself. The next morning, chaos erupted. The merchant's daughter screamed, "My horse is gone." Servants searched everywhere. The merchant was furious. Vidya, suspicious of her husband, whispered to the merchant, "Why not ask my husband? He can see hidden things. Perhaps he knows where the mare is." Scene 4. The False Prophet. When the merchant summoned Hari-Sarman, he pretended to be offended. "Oh, now you remember me?" he said, crossing his arms. The merchant apologized and promised him a great reward if he helped. Hari-Sarman sighed dramatically. Then he pulled out a map he had drawn earlier. "The mare is here," he said, pointing to a deep spot in the forest. Servants rushed to the place, and sure enough, they found the mayor. Hari-Sarman was celebrated as a genius. He ate the finest foods and enjoyed the best treatment. But deep inside, Vidya knew the truth. Scene 5. The King's Test. Days passed, and Hari-Sarman enjoyed his new life. He had fine clothes, delicious food, and respect, all because of his fake powers. But one day, everything changed. A messenger from the king arrived at the merchant's house. The king demands Hari-Sarman's presence immediately. Hari-Sarman froze. The messenger explained, "Gold and jewels have been stolen from the palace. The king has heard of your great powers, and he expects you to find the thief." Hari-Sarman's heart pounded. "If I tell the truth, I'll be punished. If I lie, I might not get away this time." When he was brought before the king, the ruler's eyes were sharp and unforgiving. "You claim to see hidden things," the king said. "So tell me, who stole my gold and where is it?" Hari-Sarman hesitated. Then, trying to sound wise, he replied, "I must have time to see the truth." The king frowned. "Lies. If you don't tell me now, I'll have you locked away with no food or water." Hari-Sarman was dragged to a dark, cold prison cell. He sat on the floor, trembling. "This is the end," he whispered. "What do I do now?" Scene 6. The Unbelievable Coincidence. As night fell, Hari-Sarman talked to himself in despair. "Oh, I wish I had never told that lie about the mayor. My tongue has ruined me. Stupid, foolish tongue." Outside the prison, a young maid was listening at the door. Her name was Jiva, which, in Sanskrit, means tongue. Jiva was terrified. She had been the one who helped the real thief steal the gold. Hearing Hari-Sarman repeating her name, she panicked. "He knows," she gasped. "He knows it was me." Desperate, she begged the prison guard to let her inside. She threw herself at Hari-Sarman's feet. "Please, great wise man, forgive me. I confess, I helped steal the gold. It's buried beneath the pomegranate tree behind the palace." Hari-Sarman stared in shock, then quickly regained his confidence. "Of course, I already knew that," he said, trying to sound calm. "Now, what will you give me to stay silent?" Jiva, still shaking, promised him gold and jewels. Hari-Sarman smirked. "Good. Now leave, before anyone sees you." Scene 7. The Final Trial. The next morning, Hari-Sarman was brought before the king. He stood tall and said, "I have seen the truth. Your gold is buried beneath the pomegranate tree." The king's men dug into the ground, and sure enough, there it was. The king was overjoyed. "You are truly gifted, Hari-Sarman." But not everyone was convinced. The wise man of the court, Devajnanan, whispered to the king, "I think we should test him one more time." A small sealed pitcher was brought before Hari-Sarman. Devajnanan smiled. "Tell us, great wise man, what is inside this pitcher?" Hari-Sarman broke into a cold sweat. This time, he had no clue. He stared at the pitcher, his mind racing. Then he muttered to himself, "Oh, frog, I'm doomed. This pitcher will be the death of me." The wise men gasped. The king's eyes widened, because inside the pitcher was a live frog. The king clapped his hands in amazement. Incredible! You have passed the test. Hari-Sarman forced a smile. He knew he had escaped again, but just barely. Scene 8. The Great Escape. Hari-Sarman was now a royal favorite. He had wealth, land, and a grand house. But he was also terrified. I barely escaped this time, he thought. What if they test me again? Next time, I won't be so lucky. He made a secret plan. One dark night, while the city slept, he gathered all his gold and jewels. Without telling anyone, not even Vidya, he fled the city. By morning, he was gone and no one ever saw him again. The king, believing Hari-Sarman to be a true wise man, allowed his family to keep their riches. Vidya and the children lived comfortably for the rest of their days. But the only person who ever suspected the truth was Devajnanan. He smiled to himself and thought, it doesn't matter anymore. He is gone, and sometimes the cleverest trick is simply knowing when to leave.